And good morning. It is 21 minutes after 8 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning from Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Southeast New Mexico, Amanda Ware back with us. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, sir. How are you today?
Doing great. How about yourself? I know Big Brothers and Big Sisters hasn't looked the way it's supposed to for the last year here. But Big Brothers and Big Sisters is still going strong. We're still making matches. We're still having a program. It's not quite the same. We can't go to the bowling alley and have bowl for kids' sake. We can't go take our littles out to the movies or anything right now. But virtual things are going on. Some socially distanced in-person activities are able to happen. It's getting better.
Yes. We have COVID policies when COVID hit that kind of help the bigs and the littles plan their outings, like what they might need, or how things are a little bit different.
Yeah.
Because we try to keep everybody safe in the match.
Absolutely.
So.
As is always the case, always needing more volunteers here. Maybe now more than ever, a little bit. I think with littles. I mean, littles are. There's always. This is COVID, or nothing didn't change any of this. There's always been that unbalanced equation of plenty of littles, we need more bigs.
We always have littles in need.
But with the kind of the landscape of the land right now, I think that demand's even gotten a little bigger now because people's lives got a little bit more confusing, a little busier, and things like nonprofits and stuff kind of take a back seat to that. I mean, it's understandable. It's what it is. But in the meantime, we've got a bunch of littles here that have been kind of not fully been able to do their education the way they want to. Their interactions with their own peers and friends has been very hampered on some of this stuff. And so now that mentor role is even more needed and more important. And so if you're looking for some way to impact and make a difference that's really not a big demand on you personally, this is the way to go. I think you could, because you can, it's one of those things that, everyone wants to change the world, right? But we're not going to do that in one big foul swoop. We're going to do it because everyone does a little thing here and a little thing there, and this is your little thing, is for you to mentor this child. It really making that friendship and just being there, and it's sometimes it's depending on the thing. It could be a thing where it's a physical. We're going out to go play frisbee or whatever it is, or sometimes, hey, we're just going to chit chat for an hour here on FaceTime or whatever, and see how you're doing, see how we're doing, and maybe play a game or something. And it's not you trying to make a grand change in a child's life. It's just you incorporating this child into your life and hoping some of your magic rubs off on them a little bit. That's kind of what we're looking for.
Yes,
here.
That's true. So whenever we pair a big and a little, of course, everybody's interviewed. So we find out, what you might like, or what you have available, what you can teach.
Sure.
And then we also interview the little and their parents.
Yeah.
So that whenever we make the match, we match you on common interests.
Yeah.
Things that common goals.
Yeah, things that would jive together
right.
there. And it's kind of, and obviously we're not finding clones of you out there. That would be probably a little weird. But you find those things that, and so, okay, well, maybe you love to read. Well, this child loves stories. So maybe you can find that match, or loves movies, but there's a way to incorporate both of those here, so you're not going to find a mini version of you. I mean, you could, in theory, but really it's that inner working of just, hey, I love to paint. I love to create. I love to do this. He loves to draw. He or she loves to draw. Let's incorporate our creativity together, and who knows what we're doing. I mean, that's the kind of stuff. If you, or maybe you love to be physical and love to be active and things. Well, here's a child that loves to be active too. Let's go do active things together. That's what we're talking about, and that kind of stuff. Obviously, like you were talking there, the pairing process takes a little bit. You got to have a little bit of patience from that time when you said, you know what, I want to be a big. It's not going to be like, all right, here's a little, have fun. There's a background check, obviously, for safety protection. That's something that every big goes through a background. That does cost quite a bit of money, so finances are always important too. But and then once that background check happens, then that's the matchmaking. You guys, you're going to ask. You're going to ask a lot of questions, a lot of stuff. Same thing with the little, but all that's to try to find that common ground, find things that will make the match click. And so it's all for so when you're like, man, I didn't realize I was giving my life story here. It's no, it's not about that. It's just about let's get the feel for you, what makes you tick, and let's find kids that kind of jive with that.
And then as far as background checks and screenings to go into the mentoring match, everything is covered by the agency.
Yes, you're not paying for all
So
that.
the big is not out of pocket for anything.
Yes, yeah, that doesn't cost you a dime. It's not. My only point was that if you can't help by being a big,
Oh,
as Bill says, bigs and bucks.
bigs and bucks. Those are the two things that we need.
Making a monetary that you can go. I know the yellow bins haven't been out and things because of COVID and all that. That was a nice little source thing. Bowl for Kids' sake, I know that we got some fundraising, but the event didn't happen, so that comes that cuts into that a little bit. So by you coming to the web, and I'll give you the website before we go, and making donations through that is a great way to support financially in the meantime. But if you'd like to do more, please invest this time. And yeah, like you said, it doesn't cost you a thing to do all this, but it does cost. I think it's averages about $1,500, something like that,
Yes,
to make a match. So for folks that like to help out financially, keep that in mind. That's a number. Every match costs about $1,500 to get going, and then to nurture it costs
to
more
make
than
the
that.
match and keep it open for a year.
Yeah. So past that year, which obviously we want to see more of that. I mean, the success stories in Big Brothers and Big Sisters is those stories that where the little keeps that relationship going, with the big throughout those milestones in life. As the little graduates high school, goes on to college, graduates college, or gets married, or gets their first job, or has their first child of their own. Those moments in life, they kind of keep touch with that stuff. And then I imagine you also get the other side too, where a lot of bigs were
previous
probably
littles. Yes.
they see the value because they were mentored themselves, and their success is attributed to their mentorship as a child, and they now say, you know what, I see the benefit. I want to be a part of that, and I think, and that's where the bigs, you're giving, and we're asking of your time and your help, and it's greatly appreciated and needed. But I got a sneaky suspicion you're going to gain as much or get more out of this than the little you're helping. You're going to walk away with a newfound respect for yourself, but also I think understanding things from other perspectives and points of view. That it really gives you that opportunity to walk a mile in someone else's shoes for a little bit, to kind of see and feel and understand things that maybe you don't get to experience in your own world that you created sometimes, and that we all do that, and I think this is that way to give back and make those connections, and even, I mean, I'm not trying to get philosophical here, I guess I am, but not intentionally. In the big scheme of things, when we talk about relations with each other and humans and the big thing, that's what it takes. That's how we fix these problems and things is by stepping out of our comfort zones a little bit and getting to understand and know people from their perspectives and their things and hearing about it. And I think Big Brothers and Big Sisters is a bit of a lesson in that for everybody, not just for the littles. You know what I mean? And so I think for bigs, if you're wanting to make a difference, but are also missing something in your life a little bit, like I need to get involved, I need to get more something. I feel like I want to make a difference. This is it. This is that place where you can kind of fill that void and also kind of feed your own spiritual or emotional side a little bit. So that's just my opinion. As far as the process goes, is the first step giving you guys a call and then talking about it from there?
So you would call our main office. It's 627-2227.
Okay.
And put in an inquiry, or you can find us on our website and you can submit a web form.
Sure.
And then someone from the office will give you a call back, set you up an appointment, give you like an orientation to see if it's something that you are interested in, answer your questions.
Absolutely. And there's no there's many ways and forms in being bigs. I mean, obviously generally you try to pair males with males, females with females, and so forth. But they're pairings of bigs where the couples do it together, and so
Yes.
they each have their own big, or they nurture bigs together, or nurture littles as bigs together. I got that messed up,
We
but
have
there's been
couples and family
yeah,
matches.
there's different ways to do this. So if you're kind of like, I want to do this, but I want to get my spouse involved here. Well, all right, listen. Or maybe we've been talking, or I mean, there's different ways to do this, and obviously, if you have questions or concerns, things like that, your staff, everyone there, Amanda, with Big Brothers, that's their jam. That's what they do. They see this every day, and they understand, and all that stuff. And that's the other part too. I want to make sure is. I know a lot of people probably think, well, this is overwhelming. I don't know what to do with a kid for an hour a week. What do I? No problem. No problem. If you have the desire and the heart to do it, you guys will help with the rest of that.
Yes.
And it's no big deal. It really isn't.
One of the things that makes our program unique in all the mentoring agencies is that you are assigned your own match support specialist once that match is made.
Okay.
And that specialist for the first year is going to call you, call the parent every month.
Your liaison, so
Yes,
to speak.
and help you work through any problems that you might have, any questions that you might have, to kind of support that match and keep it together.
Yeah.
That's where that $1,500 comes in.
And I just a piece of advice I've heard from like yourself and other folks that we've talked to, Bill and everybody else. It even when you think you're not making a dent, you are. Trust me. I know Bill's told me many stories where the big is like, I don't know, the kid's very quiet, not really talking, and not said much to me. I don't think the child likes me. And then they get reports from the parents, the kids gushing and all. Kids are, we're all been kids and we're like that. Sometimes we're too cool to act, like we're excited about, depending on ages and things. So don't worry about that stuff. That's you're making a difference. You're getting in there, and I know because sometimes I think we overinflate in our heads, like, oh man, am I doing this right? Or oh, I got to get bigger. I got to do this. No. Don't overthink this stuff. It's just you doing your life and incorporating this child into it and giving and these kids aren't looking for the grand adventure. They're not. I mean, I'm sure everybody say, hey, you want to go to the moon? Yeah, let's go to the moon. But most of them aren't doing. They're not. That's not what we're looking for here. We're just looking for quality. It's
Quality time.
Prior to COVID and everything, it was like, hey, call up and say, hey, I got to run some errands and go to the store and pick up some dinner. You want to come tag along here? That was kind of Big Brothers before COVID, obviously.
Right.
With COVID, that's changed a little bit. But at some point, we're going to get back to that again, I believe. Maybe it's next year or 2 years or whenever. But that's Big Brothers, Big Sisters will get back to that again. But unfortunately, these kids aren't going to be isolated and go on pause until that happens. So we need to get in there now and do these things. So please think about it, and you don't have to. And really, if you're kind of like I'm interested, but I don't know, do the national search for Big Brothers Big Sisters. I'll give you the local one here in a minute, but just Google Big Brothers Big Sisters and hear the stories, see the things that the program over the years throughout the country has done, benefit for these folks and understand. I think that'll give you a clear picture of what we're talking about and what a atypical meetup is kind of thing. And then we can go talk into the local here and we talk to and kind of make the match process and all that. But I know there is a list of littles right now that all they're waiting for is the big to start this process. So if you have the time and the desire to do this, please, let's get the process going. Let's, like we said, it's going to take a little time for background checks. And I imagine that's probably delayed a little bit just because of the world that we live in right now and takes longer to get things back and done and all that. So it's probably going to be a few months before we're talking you planning your first adventure with your little here. But we got to get the process going. We're coming into warmer weather. Summer's coming up here pretty soon. Now's that good time to kind of get that going. So when the kids get a little more free time here as weather changes and the school year ends, the match is set, the match is there. We're ready to. All we're ready to do is have some fun and start mentoring. So now's a good time.
now is the best time.
Yeah. If you want to learn more, the local website, it's Big Brothers Big Sisters of Southeast New Mexico. So if you don't remember what I'm about to tell you, just Google that. But www.bbbssenm.org. It's just the letters Big Brothers Big Sisters Southeast New Mexico. That's what it is there. And matter of fact, the phone number, the 2227, that's BBBS, if I remember
Yes.
right. So if you can't remember the phone number, do that too. But of course, Big Brothers Big Sisters for Southeast New Mexico has a Facebook page as well. If you're a Facebooker, you can follow that, ask questions, want more information, they'll be happy to steer you there. And that covers all of Southeast New Mexico. So if we have listeners in Artesia or in Eddy County right now, same group, different people will work with you, but same entity here. Please call the Artesia office there, and Stacy and the staff there will be happy to help you there. Or if you're in between Dexter, Hagerman, I let you pick who you want to talk to. Which way you feel like driving. What is there anything I missed as far as some of the stuff we're talking about right now, as far as getting involved and things like that, or
No.
just everything's pretty, but it's really is a great program, and and I also want to tell you this too. What the littles, that's something I want to mention real quick. Littles are littles. They are all of walks of life. This isn't. People hear about Big Brothers Big Sisters, hear mentoring programs, youth programs. This isn't like an at-risk program. This isn't scared straight type of stuff. It's nothing like that. This is a mentorship program. The children come from all kinds of backgrounds. Some come from foster homes, single family homes, low-income homes. Others have two parents. They have financial. Maybe the parents just work tons of hours and they don't get to spend as much time as they want, and so they want another source. That for every child that's in the program, there's a different reason why they're in the program.
Right.
So there is no set
criteria.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, exactly.
The main thing is spending that one-on-one time with the child and showing them, different ideas or different.
Yeah. It's letting your life rub off on them a little bit. It's think about it when you were a kid, and the people you looked up to and the things you thought cool, and you look as an adult and you're kind of like, well, that's no big deal now, but in the day when you met that person that was the one that was really good at this thing, or the one that, wow, did you see that guy on his bicycle or whatever? I mean, that's the kind of stuff that motivates them into this. And so while you're sitting there playing, maybe you're, I don't know, whatever your skill is, that translates and you're rubbing it off on them, and it's like, wow. Or maybe it's fishing or hunting. I talk about whatever you're into, your hobbies and skills and things like that. These are things you can kind of incorporate a little in with those. And maybe you're like, you know what? For 100 years I've been putting ships in bottles. All right, I'm sure there's a kid that probably loves that. It's fascinating. I'll be honest. I've always like, how do y'all cheat? How do y'all get that ship in there? Do you take the bottle apart? What I mean, I was just saying that's the kind of stuff we're talking about here. You don't have to be a superhero. You don't have to be a person of mystery or a person of grandeur. You just got to be a human being that wants to that live your life and would like to incorporate a child for a minimum. Is all you ask is basically an hour a week or 4 hours a month. There's no
and age is not a.
Yeah. I mean, if you're, I guess to be a big in the traditional, what we call the traditional program,
You have to be 18.
that's it. And obviously clean background.
Yeah, clean background check.
Yeah, obviously there. But that's really it. So, and I know, obviously with school and everything on hiatus, you guys also have your high school for high school students too. They can be mentors and things, but obviously that's on the back
That's
burner
not
right now.
working quite right this year,
Yeah.
but
But that
when
is something
school
we want to do.
opens up again,
So maybe some, if there's some high school freshmen or sophomores right now that are interested, by the time you're juniors and seniors, this program will hopefully be back in place there. But that's something, that's also part of the program. But in the meantime, if you're an adult and you're interested in learning more about this, please visit the website, call. Office, I'd always say come by the office, but in the land of COVID, it's probably by appointment and things like that right now. So either call or get on the website and we'll start the process there. But again, www.bbbssenm.org. Big Brothers Big Sisters SoutheastNewMexico.org. That's what that stands for. And what's the phone number one more time?
575-627-2227.
Yeah, it's really is cool. I you hear the stories and you hear and I just even from because I know even the people that are volunteering or work for Big Brothers and Big Sisters, almost all of them are bigs themselves, and I hear those stories too, and those stories they have, and just throughout the years the folks we've had come in and the little stories, and it's really cool. It's like having a friend to hang out with that you get to kind of show off a little bit. And what I mean by that is because a lot of times these kids look up, they're, wow, cool, you got a car, things that you take for granted. That's very big in their world. It's like, wow, you got your own, whatever, soda fountain machine. I mean, that's, I know that sounds weird, but that's the stuff that kind of kids be like, oh, that's cool. And then that's the foot in the door. And then you can hit them with the other stuff because they think you're cool because you got a soda fountain machine or whatever it is. I mean, it sounds weird, but that's how it works.
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Some kids are very impressed if you have pets.
Exactly. It's just like, you got a dog. I've always wanted a dog. It's all about perspective and things we take for granted, somebody else doesn't. And I think Big Brothers Big Sisters exposes that kind of stuff and allows us to all learn we're a little bit closer than we are different. And and I think that's the great part about it, because I believe if you do this right, you're setting the table for our next generation. The problems we see today, they're going to dissipate because of the work we're doing in things like this. This is the stuff that fixes this. I mean, you can have all the legislation and government stuff, and I'm not trying to get onto that, but the greatest impact you and I and your neighbors and everything do is stuff like this. This is the thing that makes our world better, and that spreads. That's, people see that. It goes on. I'm telling you.
The ripple effect.
The thing, if you're mad about the world, this is the way to fix it. Things like this. So please call Big Brothers Big Sisters, get online, and find out. And you don't have to move mountains. Just a little bit of time. Ask, even if you just want to ask questions at first time. It's kind of, I'm sure you get a lot of people that's like, hey, I'm interested, but I need to know about this, and this. I mean, I'm sure you get one or two that's just like, yep, let's do it, sign me up. But for most people, I'm sure they go in with a toe and then see what we do here. But I'm telling you, it's these are the kind of things that we fix our community. We make our place better. These are the things we do. The yelling at your neighbors on Facebook and all that may make you feel better, but it's not fixing anything. This is fixing things. So, is there anything I missed? I didn't try to get all too big theological.
No, I don't think so.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us. And
Thank
we'll see
you.
you guys next month. And if anything happens or need more time or I don't know, something weird happens, like, guess what? We can do everything we want to right now. I don't think that's going to happen, but
I wish we can get to the point.
you never know. I've seen weirder things in the last year, so I don't rule out anything. But yeah, anything we can do, let us know.
All right, thank you.
All right. Well, have a great rest of your week, and stay warm and dry, or cool and whatever, because this week's one day it's nice, the other day it's not. So.
Cool and damp.
Yeah, it's like cool. Yeah, I don't think people choose to be damp, so
No.
I'd stop that one. Stay cool. Never mind. Thanks, man. We'll see
Thank
you.
you.
All right.